whip people. And I reckon it takes a real man to whip them.
Yeah, that's how you manipulate them into wearing things.
Yeah, and you look great in it. I mean, they were all skinny as rails, and they had great hair, and they were great musicians.
So you came into this kind of about to be roving, traveling circus, and you were a contributor. You weren't just like a dolly bird in the background. You were fully collaborating with this whole
Well, that was the thing, you see. I'd seen the way girlfriends and wives were treated by musicians. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be with them, having a good time with them. And the only way you can do that is if you contribute. So I made sure that I was going to contribute enough. Well, mind you, of course, when you think about it, I cut David's hair and dyed it. He wasn't going to go to Manchester and say, can you give me a touch-up, was he? He had to happy with it, really. So it was lucky. I was lucky.
You made yourself accessible.
Yeah, kind of. And it was so good. The first time I saw them was in a college in London. And I didn't know what to expect. David was a great musician. He played in the Three Tones. I didn't know what to expect. I'd heard Hunky Dory, but that was all I'd heard.
Yeah, and that's kind of gentle. I mean,
It is gentle, but then when they came on, oh my God, they just blew the roof off this place. They said, I was like, got to get cold with this.
And had you seen them? Had you already gone over to the hall?
I'd done the hair and everything. I hadn't met the band.
Yeah.
And then shortly after that, they sent me down to do the band's hair. Well,
Okay, so tell me how that was.
the first time Stewie was there, and Stewie was their bodyguard. I think we called him Stewie was from Yorkshire's black guy, and he had this hair. And he said, "Well, what are you going to do with my hair then?" And I'm thinking, oh, you know, I never like that before, which was kind of funny, but he was only kidding. So I think I did Woody's. And I did Trebs, and I did Treb with that little short hair, and Trebs came out really well, Woody's came out really well.
How did you make a decision? Like, did you guys have input? Did they have input with it? Or
Yeah, no, but they did really. I mean, you didn't really say much.
Of London, and you were about to fall down the Bowie rabbit hole, be sucked into Bowie world. How old were you? What were you doing?
I was 22, and I was working in regular hairdressers, and I did Mrs. Jones, doing his mother's hair, and I got introduced to Angie, and she took me out to Heddon Hall, and there was no. I mean, I never thought there would ever be anything, you know, we were talking about 52 years later. But he had kind of long wavy hair at the time.
So he was kind of like a hippie kid.
He was like a hippie kid, and I think, I mean, he was working on, he finished that first album with his long blonde hair, Hunky Dory. He finished Hunky Dory, they were working on Ziggy, and I was up there, and he showed me this photograph of this girl with a short red spiky hair, and he said, can you do that? And I'm thinking, that's a girl's hairstyle, which is surprising, right? And how am I going to actually do that? But I did it. It failed miserably. I mean, it just kind of flopped.
But the person was on. If you could, like, you probably didn't have the technology then like that.
I didn't have the dye.
But also, like, the Ziggy stuff. And they could,
No one had products in those days. You know, you had to go
free
around.
product.
No product. So I went away and I found the colour, and I used this anti-dandruff treatment called Guard, and it set hair like stone. The old girls at the salon, it set hair like stone, so I used that. Well, when David saw himself in that bright red hair, I don't know what you thought was, but whenever he saw himself in that bright red hair, he was, you know, he looked incredible. He looked like Ziggy Stardust, he looked like what he was. And I saw it on stage for the first time. I didn't know he wore makeup on stage. I didn't know they had costumes.
Well, what did you know?
Not much. Not much.
Because let's back up a minute. Like, so they're wearing pink, they're wearing glitter, they're wearing giant clumpy platform shoes, they've got the great hair. Did these gentlemen from the north kind of grow into their glam?
Well, I guess they did. I mean, it didn't always suit them. We were on the road once and we stopped in this motorway cafe. So Mick gets up and he says, come on, Trev. And they're going to get off the bus. Well, David's laughing. And I used to go and get stuff there, but off they went now. Mick's got the most picture here on his hair with his mascara. and Trevor's wearing tight jeans and high heels, and David's laughing because they go into the cafe, well they're back in about 5 seconds flat, and they're stopped towards the bus, right? I said, Suzi, can you go in and get this and that and the other? You know, you couldn't really be seen. That's one of the things I was there for, was to go get their shopping and stuff. You couldn't really be seen out.
But what would happen? What would be the consequence?
Well, boys would whistle at them. You know, these guys were not bad. These are northern lads, and we're not bad. Hello, darling, and all that, you know. And it looked like they didn't go too down too well.
But let's talk about the important thing. What did the ladies think about them?
Even more. The ladies adored them. They really adored them. It was very hard. We started this Elvis exit. Do you remember the Elvis exit? We started this Elvis exit. Nick and David have been to see Elvis closely in Madison Square Garden. And at the end of the Elvis show, they go, Elvis has left the building. And what he would do, he would run up the stage, run out and disappear. Well, we decided we'd start that because these guys would get ripped apart and we'd start like that. But the first time we did it was like, just get another pair of pants. Before me, I think it was fine.
He didn't just keep
Kept on
going.
going onto a baby what he was supposed to do. We never had any real disasters. Not really.
And he had a whole ritual there with them, didn't he? Where he would be smoking a cigarette.
One glass of wine, he thought glass of wine and a cigarette as soon as he came on. So, but then most of the time we go back to the dressing room, so let's have a cigarette, it's fine, whatever we wanted, while we were changing things. But they would sometimes he'd be changing at current times in the show, so.
And were you keeping those costumes together as well?
Yeah. I was always terrified about sending that to be drunk with.
Did you ever have to improvise when something just kind of like...
Well, the first time I went to New York with that, we stayed in the plaza. And Freddie Barretti, he wasn't happy at being left behind.
And who was Freddie?
Freddie was David's costume designer and one of his very good friends. Complete seduction for me, yeah. But you know, I was curious about him.
And how did that go down? How did
Well, I think it was something that Angie set me up. I went over there to do on a Wednesday. She said, I thought it was fun. It was going out the dates. And she was going out with Mickey Finn. And she told me she's having this raging affair with Mickey Finn. And I thought, I was a bit, I was a bit old school, right? I kind of thought that was a bit off.
she's Mrs.
She's just sorry, what the hell are you doing, kind of thing. But then, a few days later, David called me and he said, why did you come over?
Yes.
Yeah, and he said, I just want to see you. All the red bells are going off, and so we went up to London to fix or something wasn't so hurry. Now, I'm just like I normally do, and you walk down there. Yeah, I walked down there and I felt the mum dead. We just looked completely old-fashioned. These guys with their hair twisted and tattoos and all this, and they were like shoving Nick and Nick's like, I said, do you want to know? We ran out. It was terrifying. The pokes, I thought, were absolutely terrifying. And suddenly, that's what was going on. And I hadn't even seen it pass. And when Nick went out on the road, David knew, he changed completely. But we weren't good like that. We weren't